Rohingya conflict background. The Rohingya people are an ethnic minority that live mainly in the northern region of Rakhine State, Myanmar, and have been described as one of the world's most persecuted minorities. They describe themselves as descendants of Arab traders who settled in the region many generations ago. However, French scholar Jacques Leider has stated that the forefathers of the overwhelming majority of Muslims in Rakhine had migrated from Bengal to Rakhine, that their descendants and the Muslims as whole had in fact been rather uncontroversially referred to as Bengalis until the early 1990s, and that they were also referred to as Chittagonians during the British colonial period. Others such as Chris Lewa and Andrew Solth have identified the group known as Rohingya as ethnically related to the Bengalis of southern Bangladesh, while anthropologist Christina Fink uses Rohingya not as an ethnic identifier but as a political one. With the Japanese invasion and withdrawal of the British administration, tensions in Arakan before the war erupted. The war caused intercommunal conflicts between the Arakanese Muslims and Buddhists. Muslims fled from Japanese-controlled and Buddhist-majority regions to Muslim-dominated northern Arakan, with many being killed. In return, a reverse ethnic cleansing was carried out. The Muslim attacks caused the Buddhists to flee to southern Arakan. Attacks by Muslim villagers on Buddhists also caused reprisals. With the consolidation of their position throughout northern Arakan, the Rohingyas retaliated against Japanese collaborators, particularly Buddhists. Though unofficial, specific undertakings were made to Arakanese Muslims after World War II. D-Force officers like Andrew Irwin expressed enthusiasm to award Muslims for loyalty. Rohingya leaders believed that the British had promised them a Muslim national area in Mongdo region. They were also apprehensive of a future Buddhist-dominated government. In 1946, the leaders made calls for annexation of the territory by Pakistan. Some also called for an independent state. The requests to the British government were however ignored. After the colonial period, the first mass exodus from what was then East Pakistan took place to the 1970s. In the 1950s, a political and militant movement rose to create an autonomous Muslim zone, and the militants used Rohingya to describe themselves, marking the modern origins of the term. The persecution of Rohingyas in Myanmar dates back to the 1970s. The term Rohingya has gained currency since 1990s after the second exodus of 250,000 people from Bangladesh to Rakhine in the early 1990s. The Rohingya were denied citizenship in 1982 by the government of Myanmar, which sees them as illegal immigrants from Bangladesh. Since then, Rohingyas have regularly been made the target of persecution by the government and nationalist Buddhists.